My name is Ty Smith. I am an assistant professor at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. And I teach modern art history, and I research things typically related to textiles. What I love about textiles is that they open up onto so many different worlds. They help us think through questions of labor, the economy. So the practice and the making of textiles is really interesting. We don't really pay attention to them much. So we have curtains and upholstery and clothing sometimes even, and it's just something that we ignore. And so I like to kind of put it front and center and force people to kind of re-examine it. People think about fashion, people think about dress somewhat, but it's even then the textile is kind of, or even the making of the dress, like people don't pay attention to that. And so I'm interested in kind of looking at what's going on beneath the surface, so to speak. And I love teaching, especially seminars, of course, because you get that immediate feedback from students. It's much nicer than a lecture. But what brings me to it, yeah, I guess it's just the passion and the love for what it is that I'm looking at. It's getting other people excited who wouldn't normally be excited about this material, excited about it. Starting to see connections that they don't expect to see. So that, for instance, being able to understand how the textile, typically a knit that they're wearing, what were the kind of conditions, the labor, the life cycle of that thing? Where did it come from, and where is it gonna go? My first book, Bauhaus Weaving Theory from Feminine Craft to Motive Design, was published last year, University of Minnesota Press. And it was a book that grew out of a dissertation that I wrote. And I was looking at the Bauhaus Weaving Workshop, but especially interested in how the weavers were articulating through writing what they were doing. So I came across a lot of their writings, both that were in German that I had to translate, but also in English. And some of this was really inspired by Annie Albers, whom I came across in graduate school. So for her, it wasn't just weaving. It was something that could speak to not only other disciplines of craft, but whole philosophical problems. And I think she's absolutely right, and I love that about her work. So between her and the weavers at the Bauhaus, I fell in love with the material, like the physical artifacts, but then also the writing about it. I'm really excited about the intellectual and theoretical life of craft, that it's not just manual. I mean, it of course is manual, and that is really important. The practice is really important, but that practice is predicated upon a lot of forethought, you might say, and afterthought, which is highly theoretical. And I think that there's this dialogue that people kind of see them sort of separate, but I see them really kind of influencing one another in really important ways.